All right, guys. When I remember the whip sheep or the sheep whip, the deputy chief whip of the Senate, the same man who said that Senator Natasha have 6 children with different men. He granted another interview again with TVC. But this time, you guys are going to be shocked because this man just revealed to Nigerians now allegation that Senator Natasha was an ex-girlfriend to Yahaya Bello, or rather, Yahaya Bello is an ex-boyfriend to Senator Natasha. Yahaya Bello, the former governor of Kogi State. There's a lot of revelation that is currently going on right now concerning Natasha. These guys are doing everything possible to make sure that they convince the gullible Nigerians to dislike or rather hate this woman, or rather to turn their back on Senator Natasha. But meanwhile, I don't want to spill it all out. I want you guys to listen to him, what he has to say right now. Let's listen to him.
To clear the coast on this very important issue. Unfortunately, the public before now have been misled into believing her. But I'm here to tell the world and Nigerians the truth. One is that this matter is not between Senator Natasha and Godswill Akpabio. The public should know this. It's between Senator Natasha and the Nigerian Senate.
No, with this 6-month suspension, people have said, come on, it's like using a sledgehammer to kill a fly.
Yeah, but
and they also feel that it is the petition of sexual harassment that probably made things escalate.
No, let me help you, my brother. And Nigerians should know this very well. This woman is a known blackmailer. I hope you know that.
Well, I don't know.
This is not the first time she is accusing our leaders of sexual harassment. This is a woman that when you have problem with her, she will go to that accusation of sexual harassment. She is using her gender as a weapon. This is a woman that accused Reno Mokri of sexual harassment when the young man was in U.S. This is the same woman that accused her former boyfriend, in quote, Yahaya Bello, of sexual harassment. This is the same woman that accused Dino Melaye of sexual harassment. This is the same woman that accused a minister, which is yet to name, of sexual harassment.
Yeah, so a former minister came out to deny that.
That is it. So when you look at all this, you will see which of the former ministers?
The former minister of Solid Mirror, that is Kawade, who is former governor of the
I didn't mention his name, but that is a video where she accused a minister of sexual harassment. I can send you the video. You play it to the world. You play to the world. So this is a woman who is using her gender as a weapon. And that is a problem. Like I said in Arise, this woman is creating a very bad precedent for future Nigerian women that would like to venture into politics. Because if she understands why she's in politics, she shouldn't have been doing this. And moreover, who do you think will sexually harass a senator? We are equal. And on the said date that this incident happened, I was there from beginning to the end. We went for the birthday ceremony of the Senate President in Akwa Ibom. From the Victor International Airport, I drove with her in the same vehicle. I was sitting on the seat. She was sitting at the back with her husband, because she came with her husband. We attended about 4 or 5 functions of the Senate President within Uyo. And at the end, we returned to Ikotekwe, the hometown of the Senate President. And when it was 12 midnight, we all gathered together in his parlor and sang a birthday song for the Senate President. I can show you the video. Senator Natasha was there with the husband. At the back, I was the closest person to the Senate President.
I think I've seen some of those pictures.
I can send it to you. So there was never a time Senate President had a private chat with her. There was never a time the Senate President told her, do you like my house? I will come here to chill. And let me ask you, is only an insane man that can say so in the presence of his own wife and in the presence of the husband of the person?
Well, her last word before leaving the chamber was, this injustice will not be sustained. Clearly, she feels cheated and probably she didn't get a fair hearing because, you know, there was also a committee, the committee that looked into the issues of misconduct and persistent disregard for rules.
Yes.
She did not appear before that committee.
Why?
Because of a court judgment restraining that committee from carrying on with the probe.
That court order is a nullity. I don't want to speak on that.
Because I had the chairman of that committee saying that her lawyer has probably advised her.
How can a judge give an order restraining an arm of government from carrying out their internal affairs? Can a judge restrain the NJC from punishing a judge that they felt have erred? The court cannot do that. We must observe our rules. That is it.
The principles of separation of powers.
That is it. We have not. It is only when we have acted outside the purview of our powers. That is why the court will come in. This is a matter that is before the committee, and the court knows that it's before the committee. Why not allow the committee to finish?
Okay, maybe she was misled by the court, but the fact remains that she did not get a fair hearing because she did not have the opportunity to come before that committee to defend herself.
It's her own peril. Why did she fail to appear before the committee?
Maybe her lawyers advised her not to, based on the advice. Subsistent court order.
She should carry her cross. We have suspended her, and the suspension stands for 6 months, except if tenders apology.
Well, that's 6 months. A lot of people have said it's too much, and we are seeing efforts
because of the gravity of the offense. I hope you watch the video. Pointing accusing finger on the Senate president. My dear brother, we should control our emotions. At a level of being a senator, there are things we should not do, no matter what. There are things we should not do, no matter what.
Well, and then it now seems as you said it's not between her and the president of the Senate.
It's between her and the Nigerian Senate. And I've given you the facts.
And that is why
she's using harassment issue to divert attention.
And that is why Senator Godswill Akpabio, as the presiding officer and president of the Senate, presided and deliberated over the matter on that day.
Understanding. Yes. The matter is between the Nigerian Senate and the lady in question, not the Senate president. The issue of sexual harassment she's bringing after.
That is between her and the Senate president
which is already before a committee. And when the report will be led, another person will preside.
Okay, the Senate president will recuse himself.
Of course, he goes without saying, because you can't be a judge in your own case. We know all this. And let me re-emphasize again that she's raising this, her usual claim, sexual harassment. It's not to divert attention and the whip sentiment from the public, which is succeeding. But unfortunately, she has failed. People have seen the truth.
But you also agree that sexual harassment is a very serious issue in the society. And, you know, law enforcement agencies, even the Senate, the National Assembly, have made laws against these issues and to protect the rights of women.
We are against it. And herself as a senator should be in the vanguard to implement the law. Not for you to use it as a weapon against a man, an innocent man. A man that is old enough to be your father. Number 3 man in the country, which means one day she will accuse President Tinubu. Maybe if she seeks for favor from President and she didn't get it, say, President Tinubu is harassing me sexually. This is madness. And Nigeria should rise against this. Because today it is between her and Akpabio. Tomorrow is between her and another person. When we see a habitual liar, a habitual blackmailer, we should stand against it for us to have a normal society. This type of person shouldn't be in the Senate. She belongs somewhere.
Well, she was voted by her people.
Let's see what happens in the election.
She won.
Yes.
She won that election.
Because the people didn't know her character. But now she has brought her character to the purview of the public.
Well, that's for the people of Kogi Central, because they may not agree with you when you say this kind of person should not be in the Senate.
Until then.
She represents her people, the people of Kogi Central. But now let's move on to something else.
And again, her offense does not stop her. This is a lady, by our rules, when the presiding officer and the principal officers are entering the plenary, every senator is expected to stand up. But this is a lady that will sit down.
Has she been doing this, or she
started
when her seat was changed?
She has been doing this.
Refusing to stand up in reverence of the principal officers.
She has been doing that. Even if she did it when the issue arose, that is duplicating your offense. 2 wrongs cannot make right. The law is clear. The law is not made for you alone. It's made for all of us. Whether you like the presiding officer or not, you should rise and respect the office. It's not the person, but the office. Because tomorrow she can be Senate president. She can be governor. She can be anything God wants her to be. And she will demand and command that respect. We should respect the institution. And that goes to your qualification to be there. Because if you are there, you should keep your personal interests aside and respect the institution you have found yourself. If you have any issue, for example, on the same day, if she had resumed her seat, she would have still raised any issue she wanted to raise. Maybe not being happy with the way the seat was changed. She would have still had the opportunity to do that. But unfortunately, this lady is out to destroy Nigerian Senate. But we must resist it.
You know, some people have said what happened is like deja vu because she was suspended in March, in the month of March, considered as a month for women. March 8 is international.
What do you mean
March
by
8
what
is.
do you mean by that?
Maybe that's why we're seeing.
What do you
that's
mean
why
by
we're
that?
seeing a lot of women advocacy group are now coming out in her defense and criticizing the Senate because they say you just have about 4 women in the Senate and suspending Natasha Akpoti reduces the voice of women. Maybe that's why we're seeing this criticism.
When we're making these rules,
it's as if the Senate is against
have you seen
the
any
interests
woman
of the
senator
women.
that is with Natasha? Have you seen one speaking in favor of Natasha? This is a woman with bad character. Nobody wants to associate with her.
Well,
even at the plenary, did you see any dissenting voice?
Well,
I'm asking you.
No, let's speak to the issues instead of maybe attacking her person.
But her person comes in now.
Let's talk more about the issues.
Yeah, you know that conducted seminar for senators. She's the most traveled senator.
The most traveled senator.
The most traveled senator.
You know, she also raised an issue about not being put on foreign trips and certain privileges with her.
How can she say so? I can give you in writing the trips she has taken on. I can tell you. I can put in writing, not in words. I can give you in writing. Up to over 10 trips internationally. This lady. Even me, I don't have such opportunity as a principal officer. But because we want to behave in a gender-friendly manner, that is why Senate President have always featured her and other female senators. Yeah, and you know, Senator Eretikinkibe said she's the most privileged, even among the female senators. Thank you. So why the preference for Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan? Because of the relationship with the husband. The husband is a friend of the Senate President. Some people will say that's nepotism. No, it's not nepotism. Giving her special preference because the Senate President has a relationship with her husband, putting her ahead of other senators have also been enjoying foreign trip, including Senator Kigebe. But she is the most privileged because of the relationship with her husband. Well, of course, that is the way it is. And that's a sign of weakness on the part of Senator Godswill Akpabio. It's not a sign of weakness. It is. If you feel that she will do well in such international organization, and going by the fact that she is a lawyer, so she may have advantage over others. And lawyers are being treated differently in international organizations because you understand better the international treaties and what is being discussed there. So that may form the reasons for her, traveling more than other senators outside the relationship between the husband and the Senate President. You can see, can't you see the video? The facts speak for itself. And that is why on the day of her suspension, nobody stood by her. Was it unanimous? It was unanimous. I was not that. And the only remedy is to say, my people, I don't know what led me into this. I'm sorry. That settles it. Well, we've seen the Minister of Women Affairs now saying that she would reach out and try to interface with the leadership of the Senate to see if she can prevail on them to maybe reconsider Senator Natasha Uduaghan's suspension, if maybe it can be reduced or if her sins can be forgiven. If you read prayer 2 of the suspension prayers, it is there that is within this period of suspension, she realizes her mistake and tenders apology. Senate will forgive her. Remember, we are like a family. We are there to serve Nigeria. In fact, it pains me that we are using the time we would have been using to educate Nigerians on what we are doing to discuss irrelevant issues. But it's necessary so that people will know. We are here to make laws for Nigerians. We are here to formulate policies that will guide the executive towards giving Nigerians good governance. That is our work, not to discuss a lady who is known for blackmailing people. Well, unfortunate. You said blackmailing people, and now it's her against Senator Godswill Akpabio, the presiding officer. Do you feel she's being used
by certain
She's being used by the opposition now, it's very clear.
By the opposition where?
Yes,
In the Senate?
Of course. She's being used by the opposition outside the Senate.
Okay, not inside the Senate.
Not inside the Senate.
What do they want?
They want to destabilize the Senate. An opposition will always look for a way to distract the government. It's normal. You can see what the former Senate president says, Senator Saraki. We expected him to advise the lady. He has been a presiding officer. And when the current presiding officer, Senator Akpabio, acted this way, he resisted him and insisted that he does the right thing. And Senator Akpabio, being a normal person, realized his mistakes and tendered public apology in the chamber. So we expected the former Senate president to directly advise the lady that what she's doing is against the rules of Senate. But he abandoned the issue to start playing to the gallery, playing politics. But it's very unfortunate that leaders at that level can reduce themselves to such level. Very unfortunate. We've
also seen statements from former Vice President
you have seen it. PDP, that tells you that those are the people
in support of Natasha.
That is the leader of the opposition in Nigeria. Don't you know that? But we are not disturbed.
But why are they after Senator Godswill Akpabio?
Because there's an opportunity. This scenario is an opportunity. Because they have seen that the government of APC, under the leadership of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is doing well and is correcting the anomalies we had in our economic sectors. You can see the price of goods are coming down. Price of petroleum are coming down. Things are getting better. So they have nothing else to speak against APC. So they can only lay hand on this trivial matter to make news. But unfortunately, we're ahead of them.
All right, then. A fine place to leave it, Senator Peter Oyekachi Nwebonyi, Deputy Chief Whip of the Nigerian Senate. Thank you for helping us put this matter into proper perspective.
Thank you, friend.
If this video not shock you, I don't know what it will shock you again. Because you can see now, what these people are still focusing on, which I've talked about so many times, is still about the protection. Rather, the primary priority right now is the protection of the Senate president, which I understand is the number 3 man in Nigeria. But there's allegation already going on attached or come with his name. So, but this particular man, Nwebonyi or something, I don't know how his name pronounced, the Deputy Chief Whip or Whip Chief of the Senate, coming out again in another platform to make sure that he do everything possible to convince Nigerians to turn their back on Senator Natasha. Is baffling and it's also shocking at the same time. So what's your take on this? What is happening? Who is going to actually come out now to address this sexual harassment, how it's supposed to be in a developed country? Because the way it's going on right now, there's a lot of bypassing on that particular area, and that is the reason why all this malfunctioning that were happening, disrespectfulness that were happening with Senator Natasha, that's why she was doing it, because she believed that her right was stepped on already. I don't know much. My duty is to bring it to you. What's your take? Put on the comment section. This is NAIJA Watch Media. Join us every day on NAIJA Watch Media, our live stream, 7 p.m., so that we can interact together. Take care and bye for now.